Hi, my name is Mikey Vera, and I work for US Bank. US Bank is the fifth largest bank in the United States. We go way back to 1863. I'll let you calculate that, figure out how many years that's been. What I do for the bank is I'm a market operations analyst. That may sound like a long title, but if we break it down, market means the market that I work in. We call that like the area. So the market's Los Angeles that I work in. Operations, that has to do with how things work. So you may think, well, how do things work at the bank? Well, for us, as a market operations analyst, that has to do with optimal operating performance, making sure things are done right the first time. As an analyst, I look for ways to simplify things, streamline things, and improve things. So you put that all together. That's what I am, a market operations analyst. You may be wondering, why do I do what I do every day? Well, I really believe that I make a difference in this company, and that difference has to do with where we live in our communities. That's in my community and in your community. From there, that's where I help the people turn their dreams into a reality. If you think about it, what is one of your dreams that you want to do? What's something that you want to do? And you think about with the bank, well, how much money are you going to need in order to fulfill that dream? Well, at US Bank, the bankers here are here to help you turn your dreams into a reality. So, for today, we want to talk about income. And that's one of the topics that over the years when I've been helping with junior achievement over at Finance Park, one of the questions always is, well, how much money do you make? That's what we mean by income. How much money does somebody make? So I'd like you to start off by either in the air or if you've got a piece of paper or notes, to make a box. You see here that I have my box, and inside my box, you're going to make four smaller boxes. So cut that box in half and cut it in half again. And in your box, you get four boxes or four squares. So you got your big square, and then you've got four smaller squares. In those squares, that's what we're going to talk about with income today. We're going to break that up. The first word we're going to use is gross. And gross, you think of, well, income, how is that gross? Well, gross income just means that's the total amount. Think of gross like the total. And from that, we break that up into the gross annual amount. And the word annual has to do with the entire year. So, from what normally when talking about with people is, well, how much do you make on there? And then I want to know, well, do you want to know the gross amount that I make? Which is not really an appropriate question to ask when talking with somebody, how much money they make, but people want to know anyways. So the gross amount, the gross annual amount, or gross annual income, we'll call that as GAI. That's the gross annual income. And let's just say, for example, that my gross annual income, the amount of money I make for the entire year, was $12,000. So we'll put my dollar sign, we'll put my $12,000. That's how much I make for the entire year. That's the gross annual income, or the total amount of earnings that I make for the entire year before any deductions or before any money is taken out of that. So then my next one on here is monthly. Well, how much do I make every month? If I make $12,000 for the entire year, we're going to divide that by how many months are in a year. There are 12 months in a year. And so you take this GAI, or the gross annual income, and you divide that by 12, and then you get your monthly gross income. So if I made $12,000 for the entire year, I divided that by 12 months, then you probably already know the answer, but I'm going to make $1,000 a month. You can also ask me, well, what's your gross monthly income? I can get $1,000, and then you'd be able to times that by 12 to get my gross annual income. Okay, so we've got half of our boxes filled up. We learned about gross, now we'll learn about net. So net, think of like if you've ever seen a net, and that net usually will catch something from there, or it will filter out other things with your net. So like we mentioned, the gross amount is the amount before any deductions or money is taken out. So think of with that net, we're capturing this and some money is being deducted, and the amount that's left is in our net is what's left over. So from here, we're going to think, well, what would be the amount that we take out, and why would we take out money? Well, that's a lot of different reasons that we would take out money. We have to take out money for taxes. We have to take out money for insurance, maybe our health insurance, our eye insurance, our dental insurance. Maybe we want to take out money for retirement. So those are all different deductions. Not the only things we deduct, but those are just some examples of things that we deduct. So we take a percentage of that and what we do from that. So what I'm going to do is, let's just say that we took out 10%. So if I took out 10% of my $1,000 that I get every month, how much is 10% of 1,000? Well, that's $100. So with my 10% that I take out, we'll put here that we took out 10%, subtract that, and that 10% of 1,000 would equal $100. So if I subtract 100 from this 1,000, then that's $900. And again, if I times that 900 by 12 months, then I get $10,800. And so you can do that by either taking this 100, that's every month, timesing that by 12, and getting 1,200. So really, this is just 12,000 minus 1,200 gives you 10,800. Or we take this 900, we times it by 12, and we get this 10,800. Either way, that's what we're looking at. So from here, just to recap, from here we've got our gross annual income for the entire year. That's all the amount money that we make for the entire year without taking out any money. The gross monthly income is the gross annual income divided by 12. That's our monthly amount total that we make before taking out any deductions. Our net amount is after those deductions are taken out. So the net monthly amount is after any deductions, that's per month. The net annual amount is what we take on an annual basis after all of our deductions. This here is one of my favorite spots because that's also known as take-home pay. That's the amount that you get to take home and the amount that you get to spend. And with that being said, I get to take home that amount. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Thank you for learning about your income with me.